Yo, what up? Welcome back to another episode of No Paperwork Podcast. Your boy N-Sane. Got BFD right here.
Yes, sir.
And we got the talented Mike Infante here, man. What's up with it, Mike? How you doing, man?
Thank you, guys.
What's
Thank
up,
you,
man?
Fats. Nice seeing
Yes,
you.
sir. Of course.
Mikey,
man.
right?
Good seeing you.
Yeah, Mike, same thing.
Nice seeing you guys. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, yeah, man. Hell yeah. So, man, I was inspired by your story, right?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And we talked about that a little bit before, but I'm inspired by your story. And, I just before we get into your background, like were you born paraplegic?
So I'm born with cerebral palsy. So
cerebral palsy.
Yeah, so
Okay.
cerebral palsy. I use crutches and a wheelchair, but I use crutches for short distances and the wheelchair for longer distances for like school.
Okay.
Like if I'm going to school or going somewhere like for longer distances, I use the wheelchair. For short distances, I go around the block and use the crutches.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, dope.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
Also,
go ahead.
when we were looking at your pictures, I couldn't remember if those were called crutches, right? Because when you think of crutches, you think of like the ones that go in your arm.
The hospital
You know what
ones,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah, so
Those
those
are
ones
crutches,
are
though.
Canadian crutches. Those ones are like, they have the ones with the hospital ones.
Yeah.
That you put over, I never use those ones, but I
Yeah.
use the Canadian ones, which they have the armholes, but they scratch your arms a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, yeah, dope. So, man, you're actor. You do comedy. You do. First seen you was Zakius, right? That was
Yeah.
the first time I.
Yeah. That's
seen
how
you.
we met.
yeah.
You were with Zakius, and you were doing the reels and stuff. And then I looked you up, and I'm like, man, this dude's an actor.
Yeah. Like
So
for real one.
yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's go back to the beginning though. Like, how was life growing up for you?
So growing up for me, I did soccer and baseball when I was younger. Like adapted, like they did a River Cats adapted playing field for people with disabilities. They had like a turf, so I played that when I was younger, and I did soccer when I was younger. And then prior to that, I watched Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, all these different shows on TV as a kid,
Yeah.
and I was like, how can I get on TV? How can I get there?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know.
Every
how.
kid
I
thinks
don't know,
that,
you know.
right? Every kid
yeah, you
thinks
want to
that,
get on
yeah.
TV. You want to be like the big star. I'm like,
Yeah.
how do I get there? So I had a hospital. I had a surgery when I was younger, when I was 11 years old, and this thing called the rhizotomy. The rhizotomy was basically to release the tension in my legs. So in the back of my legs, there was a hamstrings. Your hamstrings get tight. When they get really tight, your legs can't, your feet aren't flat.
Oh yeah.
So when I was younger, I would always walk on my tippy toes, but the surgery allowed me to have my feet flat.
Okay.
And the muscles in my legs relaxed.
Yeah.
So I was at the hospital for about 6 months when I was 11. I was just watching Nickelodeon, watching Disney Channel, and I wanted to, get a feel for that. And during that time, my mom found this community theater group that I joined, and it was like Winnie the Pooh, all these musicals, right? I didn't know what musicals were. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know how that would get me in the TV, but I'm going to try it out. Did that for a couple of years, and then I, studied.
How old were you? Like when you started doing the musicals?
When I was 11, 12, so I was going
Okay.
into...
Hell young. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like elementary school going into middle school.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, this isn't really what I want to do, but this is, this can lead me to something that's a joke.
Why weren't you feeling it?
Because I was used to TV. I was used to that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So it wasn't the sing where you were singing?
No,
and
I mean,
that stuff?
You can sing, you can do like the plays and stuff like that, but the musicals is where it really started at. So you do the singing, dance, and I'm not really good at any of those. But I'm like, this is, a good group of people that I can work
Yeah.
around with and,
Okay.
get that bond with.
Yeah, and you need that exercise anyways, right?
Right.
Like for real, like
Right.
like acting and just be to see if you could just do it in general.
Well, even then
right?
too, that was just that was my foundation. That was my gateway to figure out
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. This is not the TV acting I was used to, but this is just acting that I never knew what acting
Yeah.
was.
Because I think when we're kids, you kind of have this idea of how, like, it's just gonna be easy, like
Right.
just say whatever they tell you to say, type shit. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, it's more than that. You know what I'm saying? You got to
Right.
really exercise those muscles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Build
we
them
did
up,
like Winnie the Pooh, Willy Wonka, all these kid shows when I was younger.
Yeah.
And then I believe when I got to high school, I was at there was my high school was holding auditions for like the middle schoolers to audition for the high school show.
Okay.
So I did like a Shakespeare thing. I did William Shakespeare, and I had
Yeah.
no idea who that was.
In junior high, but when you were in junior high, but at the high school.
Yeah, so they were like
Okay,
holding
yeah.
auditions, like they were allowing people from the middle school to come out and audition. I'm like, I don't know
Yeah.
what William Shakespeare is. I don't even know what he's saying.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm gonna try it out anyway. I did that.
Yeah.
I was like background and doing my thing. I was like, okay, this is kind of
Yeah,
cool.
that's cool, yeah.
Just learning from people from the high school and learning,
Yeah.
watching them and seeing how this goes and watching, how the play works overall in general. And then I was
Yeah.
like, high school, I'm gonna stick with this. This is my people.
Yeah, seeing other kids that probably, you know what I'm saying, cooler a little, right? Like because in junior high, you kind of feel like when you're around high school kids, you probably
Right.
feel like, oh damn it, that's what I'm about trying to be like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like being around them and being able to engage with them like that has probably had a big effect on me.
Right.
Probably, yeah. So after that, like what Shakespeare stuff did you do? Do you remember?
I did William Shakespeare a couple of times. I did
Like
was
what,
much
though?
like Much
Which
Ado
ones?
About Nothing. Like
Oh,
Much
okay,
Ado About
yeah.
Nothing, Romeo and Juliet. Another one was like Hamlet.
Mm-hmm. You did a few.
Yeah, I did a few. Like we did one acts when I was in high school. We did like little one acts in the class that
Yeah.
we did, like advanced theater, and we just did these little things, and it was pretty cool. You know, I learned how to do those monologues, and the monologues were very
Yeah.
confusing.
Yeah.
But you know,
memorizing
just,
all that shit. Yeah.
just memorizing and just overall, you know, learning each year on the different parameters and different criteria for Shakespeare and different, you know, different material, whether it's Oscar Wilde or all these other plays I'd never, you know, heard of or anything like that.
Right. So, how old are you?
I'm 24.
So you're a little too young. In the '90s, they did all them reinterpretations of the Shakespeare movies as Shakespeare plays as teen movies.
Oh, really?
Are you up on all that?
I even know there
I'm
was
gonna
like
send it to you. I'm gonna send it. They just crazy to watch.
wasn't there one with like with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah,
with
Romeo
and
and Juliet.
9 Things I Hate About You, the Scarlet Letter.
So those,
yeah.
what are those called? Romantic comedies?
Yeah,
Yeah, rom-coms.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
based off of
10 Things I Hate About. I don't remember.
based off of Shakespeare.
Oh,
plays,
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
but more modern.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like '90s teen
Right.
rom-coms type shit, right? So I didn't know if they was doing that type shit or if they was actually like it was Renaissance era type. You know what I'm saying?
So when I was doing it, you know, we learned the Renaissance, that, you know, the actual text and like the
Yeah.
wording was different. So it was very hard for me to learn. But after the while, you were like, okay, this is kind of, I don't want to do Shakespeare. It's a good experience to do. You know,
Yeah.
it's a good experience to have. But just having to do it, I'm like, I don't think I'm
Right, and I for real, I think like if you could do Shakespeare shit, right?
Right.
Just if you could do Shakespeare shit where you don't really understand the like the these
dialect.
and the dialect, I
Right.
guess, yeah, the dialect, and you could still like
interpret it.
yeah, interpret the fuck out of
Right.
it, then you gonna be good just in your own being comfortable,
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what after the high school shit, after junior high, what'd you do?
After that, I went to college. I went to CRC.
Okay,
I studied. I wanted to get into. I majored in theater arts, and I was like, I want to be an actor. I've
Yeah.
always wanted to be an actor, but I don't know how to get in that parameter. I was like, okay, so if I major in theater, maybe I'll get a job in theater. That's
Yeah.
not how it works. That's not how it works. So
Yeah,
then,
no, hell no. You starving actors all the time. They all waiters and shit. You know what
yeah,
I'm
that's
saying?
not
the
how
whole
it works.
thing.
And then you know, after COVID hit in 2022, you know, it was like during during COVID 2019, 20, you know, around
Yeah.
there, I did online school. I was doing the Zoom stuff for I transitioned to communications.
Yeah.
Because my dad was like, you know, do communications. You like talking to people. You like meeting new people.
Yeah.
Do that. I'm like, cool. Did that. And I graduated CRC in 2022, the summer of that. And then I went to Sac State.
Oh yeah.
And you graduated? Was that when you graduated with your dad?
Well, my dad, he just did his EMT program, so they had like an EMT certification program
Nice.
to do, and that was like part of the continuation part of it, and that was
Okay.
also this year as well.
Okay,
dope.
yeah, I seen because I seen on your Instagram
Right.
you and your dad graduated at the same time.
Yeah.
and shit,
Yeah.
which was dope, right? It's dope to see, and I got to meet your dad outside. He
Yeah.
seemed like a cool, down to earth dude, and
Yeah.
yeah, really like how were your parents growing up?
My parents are great, man. You know, my mama, my dad, my nana, everybody around me, they're great. Really, just they really supported me on my endeavors and what I want.
Yeah,
to
that's
do.
what we were gonna ask too. Like how, because we were talking to what's old boy that did the Sacramento song, Aaron Lee.
Aaron Lee, yeah.
And so his family was not too big on him doing music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a hard life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you read a lot of variety? Are you in the variety pages a lot? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that type shit. So they were real supportive of you though.
I mean, they're supportive. I mean, again, my career professionally hasn't really, it really didn't start until the movie came out. I did Freaky Tale. It was a movie with Too Short, and that was really my first big experience. So prior to that, you know, I did the plays and the musicals and all these different classes for theater, but we knew that acting was something I wanted to get into.
Yeah.
But again, my family, we never really knew the parameter of how we can get into the business
Yeah.
and how we can make this as a living.
Yeah.
So that really all changed, that perspective changed when I booked that job.
Yeah.
But you know, they've been very supportive. You know, it's a very, what's the word, up and down roller coaster of a business, the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
But you know, just learning to grind it out and take the opportunities as it comes.
Yeah. So you from Sacramento, right?
Right.
Born and raised?
Yes.
Yeah, so you know, like Northern California, we always have this conversation about like the access to certain things, you know what I'm saying, relative to Southern California and just how the roles are just everything as far as the entertainment field is concerned, is just kind of there's definitely a cutoff. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
even in acting, it's like that.
It's very small. It's very small over here. There's no movies out here. There's only like a very small chance. Like there's a Leo movie that came out recently, Battle After Nowhere or something. You know, a big movie that came out, and then there was another movie with Ashanti that came out, No Address, that was shot here.
Yeah.
But there's rarely anything in Sacramento.
Right, but there's been a huge, like Tom Hanks is from here. He went to Sac State.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There, Lady Bird was filmed here. There's a lot of stuff in Sacramento that's it turns out fucking huge. You know what I'm saying? But not just Sacramento, just generally like all the way back from the 70s from American Graffiti.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like there's been a slew of fucking films. Right. But the access to getting in those, a lot of those actors are, and even everybody from the that does the behind the scenes shit, they're primarily from Southern California or around that area. Yeah. You got to really shoot down there. Right, even with the acting stuff, you gotta shoot down there. Yeah.
Right, Hollywood got it on lock.
Oh my.
Right, yeah. So, speaking of Freaky Tales, right? Like that was a big movie. I haven't got to see the whole movie, but I seen the clips. And what was hilarious was when them dudes were walking by and they just push you out the way and you fall. And I was like, what the hell? That shit. And I was busting up just on that reel. I was like, dude, that's fucking crazy.
That was fun for me. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
You enjoy getting pushed down?
I enjoyed that. That was fun.
And that wasn't no stunt actor. That was you, right?
So it was a mix. It was
Okay.
me for part of it. Then it was my stunt double as well. Brian Yin, he's in there too. But they switch off. So,
okay.
So for one coverage of me, you have me, and then you have the other coverage of my stunt double taking it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I just thought that was funny as hell and shit. And, so how did you end up landing that job?
So I just transferred from CRC, from community college, and then I just came to Sac State, and that was during the fall of 2022. So I was still new to Sac State. I was like, okay, cool, getting my classes done, getting the feel for Sac State.
Yeah.
I got a call from a buddy of mine, Preston. He was like, hey, Mikey, you use crutches, right? I'm like, yeah. He was like, well, can you answer the phone? I'm like, I'm in class. He's like, well, get out of the class and answer this phone call. Pick up the phone. He's like, so listen, there's a producer that's going to text you or call you in like 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm in class, bro. He's like, well, no, they're going to call you. I'm like, okay, do you know what the number is? He's like, no, but they're going to call you. I'm like, okay, so I get the phone call, picked it up. He's like, hey, so we like you. We saw the pictures and everything. We saw your headshot. Can we send you the sides for this movie? I'm like, cool. What's the
what? What are they called?
Like sides.
Oh, sides.
So
okay.
you get like the audition sides, you get the script and everything,
Okay.
and somewhat of what material they want to give you.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. Do I know what the movie is? Like, no, we can't tell you what it is. What we can do is, film the tape first, film the audition tape, and send it in. Sent it in. Still had no clue on what the project was. Had no clue at all. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. None of this makes sense. And then I filmed it off, and come to find out it's with the directors from Captain Marvel. So Captain Marvel is a huge movie.
Yeah,
the directors from there, they're great.
Yeah.
And I sent that in August, like in the middle of August. And then I had a call back September 15th. And then I got the meeting with Ryan Fleck and Anna Bolding, the directors of that movie, on a Zoom meeting when I was going to school.
Yeah.
So during that time, I had the Zoom meeting, I had all this stuff, and then I booked the job during Halloween of October 2022.
Yeah.
So that really all changed during that time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because what's her name that starred in Captain Marvel? She's from out here too in Sacramento.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can't remember her name. The blonde chick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson. Yeah, she's from out here, right? So that's dope. That the producers of Captain Marvel were actually.
They're very sweet. Ryan was he's a Bay Area native. He's from Oakland. So this story that he made was all these different interpretations, all these different stories he grew up with back in the 80s, because it's set in the 80s,
right?
87. So it's during that time of Oakland. I wasn't around then. So just getting to know these periods of the history of Oakland was really fascinating.
Yeah.
No, we were.
What'd you learn about it?
I learned that Oakland was wild.
Oakland's still fucking wild.
Just learning the different cultures and history, because you have the punks, Gilman punk rockers, East Bay. Then you have a rap duo in the movie. Then you have these. It's like the Warrior Game with Sleepy Floyd back then.
Okay.
So all these different things combined, it's like one big wild movie.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's really dope. Yeah, there is a huge, in the 80s, there was a huge punk scene too.
Oh, yeah. And I think those were the ones that pushed you over, right?
Yeah, so the Nazis, the skinheads. Yeah,
they were skinheads.
Yeah, so
okay. Like I said, I ain't seen the movie yet, so I'm not trying to spoil the whole thing, but I just seen that part and I thought it was funny.
Yeah,
And I seen you do other jobs too. Like there was a scene that we saw. You were on the ground. You were bloody. You were getting beat up. Someone,
Which one?
they. You had a white shirt on, and you had
Oh,
blood
yeah,
on you,
yeah,
and they
yeah.
were jumping you. And it was. I guess it was behind the scenes. Everyone was laughing. And
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
What movie was that for?
I forgot what movie that was, but
Have you done a lot of movies?
I've done a lot of short films. The
films,
big
yeah.
movies I've done are like Freaky Tales, and the other one I did was No Address. It was shot. It was like a featured background extra role.
Oh, okay.
Freaky Tales was the only one I did. I mean, after Freaky Tales, I did a couple auditions for bigger movies, like for Apple TV, A24, Hulu. I think one of them
Okay.
was for
Yeah.
like This Fool. I think This Fool, or I think it was a comedy.
The one with the Mexicans.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I auditioned for that. So I've auditioned for a few things, but nothing has panned out yet. But Freaky
Yeah.
Tales was the biggest. That was my Juilliard. That was my UCLA. That was my film school right there.
Yeah, yeah. What'd you learn from it?
Just how wild this industry is, because a lot of my friends and co-stars I met on that were from Netflix and bigger projects.
Yeah.
And I just came out of a play, so just jumping from that to this, I'm like, this is wild.
Yeah.
This is the big leagues.
Yeah,
And just
that's dope.
learning and watching how they do their craft.
Yeah.
Absorbing everything like a sponge.
Did it make you? And it makes you want to push harder. You think?
It made me realize that this is possible. This is something that I can get into, because again, I never knew that this is something that you can get into. This is something that you can make money off of. I knew that was possible. I just never knew the ins and outs of how to get into that.
Right.
Yeah.
So finding out that this is actually something you can get into and actually do as a living.
Yeah.
Sign me up. Let's do it again.
Have you thought about creating your own stuff? Because like how a lot of artists, actors, in order for them to really get work, they got to find their own way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, have you thought about doing any of that?
I wrote a bunch of short films after the movie came out. So the movie
Mm-hmm.
came out in April, and before then I was bored. I like watching rom-coms and all these different things. I'm like, I want to write some short film scripts and do that.
Yeah. Along the rom-com genre.
Yeah, those are fun for me. Those are
Man,
easy
and,
to write.
and there's not a lot of quality ones no more. You know what I'm saying? Like in
Like
the
they
90s,
used to be, yeah.
90s, early 2000s, you could sit around and watch them 2-3 days
Yeah.
and not get bored, right?
Right.
That's true, right? Yeah, and now they kind of, it's not
Well,
so
he
much.
don't know. He was born in
Yeah,
the
he don't have no
90s.
idea.
But even then, I feel like with the streaming, like Netflix, you got HBO, all these different streaming
Yeah.
platforms.
Right.
Like there's so many different options now that we can't.
Yep.
There's so many options. We're like, what can we watch next?
Yeah, so acting wasn't like a big thing that I was super pursuing or anything, but in the last like year and a half, I've done like 3 things, right? And
Right.
they're just like little short stuff, you know what I'm saying? And just I'm the fat gangster guy, right? Just it's not really like going too far out on it, right?
But even then, that's that could be a niche. That could be your typecast.
100%, yeah. But it's not something I'm super pursuing,
Right.
Right. But I'm just saying, like the people who have done it, like Zakius and that one for Sacramento that I did with Baby Ray and them.
Right.
These are all just people who have this idea and they just put it together themselves and make opportunities for
Right.
themselves. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like in Northern California, there's a lot of that, and there's so much creativity. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of got to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah.
Yeah, I think going back to that, like, if you ever did that and shit, hit him up.
I got
Well-
you, man. I'm gonna hit you like that.
I don't know. But I'm not no actor like you know what I'm saying? But I just basically be myself in that stuff. Like when we worked with Zakius,
Right.
that was just kind of, you know what I mean?
But even then, too, I mean, just, going off of, you putting yourself out there and getting your foot out there in different avenues,
Yeah.
besides the music stuff, and getting your foot out there in different creative outlets.
Yeah,
That's a good thing to have.
yeah. So what, are you Mexican?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what part of town did you grow up in?
South Sacramento,
Oh, yeah? Nice. Like where at, you think?
Meadowview and
Oh, you was in the
by the
trenches.
market, by the market.
Yeah,
over
you
there.
was in the trenches
my
over there.
nana's house was over there, and so
Yeah.
I was living there with my mom and my dad for a bit,
Okay.
and then my siblings came along.
Yeah, how many siblings you got?
I got 4.
Oh, yeah, you guys are deep too, huh? Yeah.
I got 3 sisters and 1 brother.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hell yeah. So what was it like? How did you meet Zakius? And what was that like?
So Zakius, I actually met after Freaky Tales. It was during 2023, after I came back from Oakland, and I found his Facebook post on this movie called Pimpin' It Easy that's coming out October 11th, or no, October 22nd.
Yeah.
I believe it
Okay.
is. So I hit him up and said, hey, I want to know what this is. And I hit him up from there. We started talking. And I was like, this guy's cool. He's funny, man. Like his content is great. It's
Yeah.
hilarious. It's comedy
For real.
So I'm like, I like his
And
vibe.
he's
I like
super
his energy.
smart.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
his energy. I like his vibe, and I just started going from there and just collaborating with him more on different things.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
tight.
seen you on a couple of his little reels and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this dude, you know what I mean? You can actually act.
Yeah.
Actually, Zakius is actually a good actor too. You know what
He
I mean?
is,
Just
yeah.
on his reels and shit. Like,
Because
you know,
when you talk to him, he's one way, and then he just turns it on. And he's,
right. Yeah.
Right.
And then, like, even when they filmed a skit here, right? And that shit came out super dope. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I thought that shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
And him and Florida Jesus and
They're cool guys, man. I mean, everyone part of that group, they're cool. I love them. They're great.
Yeah. And you weren't part of the Wigger one, were you?
I was for a bit. For a bit. For a bit.
Yeah,
I did a few episodes. Those were fun. I mean, I think they were cool.
Yeah.
No, they're cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, what do you think is that you have cerebral palsy and shit?
Right.
Like, how much harder do you think it is to try to break through? Because you've done something that people that been trying for years couldn't do. You actually made it on a major motion picture and
Right.
shit. How do you think that has that discouraged you in any way at the beginning, or had that held you back from like trying to go to, or how has that been impacted your life and your career?
Well, I would say before Freaky Tales, before all this, I was on the internet looking at figuring out ways how to get in the business. I never knew how to get in the business. So, I always went to agents and casting meetings and different, auditions for like the ones back in the day when the mall and, they had agents back there and stuff like that. But nothing popped through. Nothing
Oh
came
really?
through.
Okay. Yeah.
Back then, they used to have like casting agents or agents that were like, "Hey, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon in the mall, or like Art Mall or something, wherever."
Really? Okay. Yeah.
But they were always some of them are scams, some of them, it
Yeah.
really depends.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I kept looking at high school and how I can break in the industry, and now I'm very fortunate for Freaky Tales. I'm very fortunate for the pathway that I was able to get into.
Yeah.
At 21, which I'm very fortunate for, and meet the people that I have. But I think along the way, prior to that, I was like, if I don't find a way to get in this business while I'm in college, then I'm gonna just go with a stable job and just let it go, because at that point I'm like, I just want to find a way to get in, get my foot in the door.
Yeah.
So again, I would say there's some portions of me that was discouraged, and we're like, okay, maybe this isn't for me, because I never knew how to get into it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think now where I'm at, I'm very fortunate and very humble to be.
I
the
think with
business
all the creative stuff, it's exactly like that, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not exclusive to just acting. You know what I mean?
So rapping and
Yeah. Everything.
everything creative. Like it's
You
hard.
gotta-
You gotta find that niche.
You gotta find it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, yeah, but I think with cerebral palsy, just being in a wheelchair in general, do you think it's that part of your life makes it harder?
I think it does to some extent. I like to say my disability doesn't define me. I mean, it's
For
part of
sure,
me, but it
yeah.
doesn't define all of me.
Yeah.
But also on the fact of the business, the wheelchair and the crutches, there's not many roles for people with disabilities.
Right.
So it kind of limits you in that parameter.
Right.
But I think the way we're going in the direction for the business is that there are certain roles and certain opportunities like popping up, like for TV shows for doctors and things
Yeah.
of that nature.
Yeah.
Like The Pit, for example, is one of them. The Doctor, I believe, was another show, and all these different avenues. So I believe the industry is going in the right direction.
Yeah.
For inclusivity and disability advocacy.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to take a little longer to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's dope, and like that's what I was trying to get to, because like your story is inspiring,
Yeah.
right? For people that that have loved ones that have disabilities, or people that do have disabilities, and they get depressed. Like you know what I mean? Like depression is a real thing when it comes to like anything, right? And then to add a disability on top of it, like. Because I was at a point in my life where I couldn't move for like 3 months, where I couldn't, I needed help getting out the bed, you know what I mean? All sorts of shit. And that was it was depressing. I was at the point in my life where I was like, fuck, you know what I mean? I don't even think I want to do this no more. But then I realized how fortunate I was. I woke up one day, and I've said this story before. I woke up one day and I just said, man, thank you. I'm thankful just for being here. And that changed my life, right? Yeah. So, and since then, I've had the abundance of fortune, you know what I mean, and good luck, and so I think just being grateful for life, and even when you're at a disadvantage,
Right?
I mean, and like you said, we were talking earlier, you were like, man, you just gotta you do positivity, like on your on your reels on Instagram. You like to do every
Yeah,
Friday.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I wanted to get, because I think, like, when I seen your story, I was like, man, that's so inspirational. You know what I mean? And like, I think other people will benefit off of your story.
Well, I appreciate that, and I like to say that this, I think everyone goes through bad days and good days. And we all have these days where ups and downs. You're like, I don't want to do nothing now. I feel like I'm not progressing in life. But at the end of the day, we're making these small little wins.
Yeah.
Whether it's I got a job promotion or I got a job interview. Right? I'm looking for a job right now. So it's like these little things like, okay, I sent out so many emails today. Okay, that's good. Reward yourself at the end of the day. If you're making music, I made one album today. I made one feature today. Okay, cool. Reward yourself for that. I made a sale or something. Just reward yourself at the end of the day, and just make these progressions and like these little milestones, greater than what they are.
Yeah, for sure, man. I always look at like like we have a different responsibility as men too, right? Like we don't get the luxury of just sitting around wallowing in our sadness, you know what I'm saying, or whatever.
You got to change that mindset and that change that mental.
Right. And sometimes it's just like, even when I feel like man, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no bitch. I'm a grown man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep pushing. You know what I mean? And I think that's I was looking at your reels too. Motherfuckers need to see that shit sometimes. You don't know where you're getting it from, but sometimes you need to see it. You know what I'm saying? For real.
And were you always this positive, or like, was there a point in your life where you said, like, you know what, man, I just got to keep pushing?
Well, I've always been a positive person. Like, what's the saying? Half glass, half full type.
Oh,
of
yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Glass half full.
It's like,
shit,
I've always been that type of way. My family, we've always had that mindset within us. I think it's also to the fact that as I've gotten older, I'm like, as long as it makes people's day. Right. If I'm having a bad day, I'm having a bad day. But that doesn't define me the rest of my, define me the rest of the time.
Yeah.
If it makes someone smile, the reels I'm doing, the stories I'm doing, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Because I just want people to love each other and, move on with their day.
For sure,
and grow with that. So I've always been a positive person, just, going forward with life.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that right there is inspiring, man. And everything you do is like, damn, he could do that shit. If he could do that shit, what's stopping me? Right? What's stopping you? Right? This dude, you get out of bed every morning. You know what I mean? You have the same we both have the same 24 hours in a day, right? What you choose to do, I mean, you choose to go out there and get it,
right?
And it's brought you several. Because I mean, you've done a lot of acting things. You've done a lot of skits. You've done a lot of reels. You got 589,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, dude, if you could do it, what's stopping anybody else?
Yeah.
Right? Like anybody else in the world. Because there's people that, like, oh man, fucking my car broke down. Shit, my life is fucked up. I can't do nothing else. Right. Well, I mean, dude, you're lucky enough to even have a car to work. Right. You're lucky enough to even be able to walk to, go to work wherever you go. Because some people ain't got jobs. Some people can't walk to a job. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's what's inspiring about you, man. And
I appreciate
I'm really
that.
Proud of you.
I appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
I think life is what I like to think of life as like a book. Like chapters. Whether the chapter in life is good, whether our wherever we are in our life right now, it's a bad situation or a good situation.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're always gonna move forward from it. And every year is a new year. Yeah. Every birthday is a new chapter in our beginning in our book that we have, and we got to keep moving forward with that.
Yeah. Dope. Yeah, and I like meeting your dad. Like I see like what such a big heart he has, and I think that's where you get it from, right? Your parents. Like, what's your relationship with your parents?
I love my mom. I love my dad. My dad, he went to the Navy when I was younger. He was in the Navy for a bit, and then he was a boxer too. So his mindset has always been, fight first and just keep moving forward and just keep lifting weights and do what you got to do. Yeah. At the end of the day, life brings struggles to you, but at the end of the day, you just got to keep moving forward. You know? And I like lifting weights with him. We work out a lot together. So we do bench press and all that stuff. So I get that from him. Mom has always been supportive. She's a hustler too. My family's a bunch of hustlers, man. We try to go out. We go out for it, and we get it.
Yeah, I think that's part of the culture too. You know what I'm saying? Part of the Chicano culture.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Just being a motherfucking workhorse. Yeah.
Hard work. Yeah. And another thing, like speaking of working out, I seen you doing bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And shit. You did some competitions.
Yeah, I'm doing one October 18th. October 18th.
That was dope.
Yeah, man. Shit.
How long you been doing that?
Been doing that since I was 18.
Oh yeah.
Since I was 18, and then my PE teacher, Bob Bell, he ran the Federation for Natural Bodybuilding.
Oh, okay.
And when I graduated high school, I was like, hey, I want to get into bodybuilding. How can I get in that? He's like, well, let's get you in the gym. Let's start doing it. Because, when I was in high school, he was my PE teacher.
Yeah.
So he got me in the weight room. And I was like, why am I lifting weights? I don't understand it. And then as I got older, I'm like, this is kind of fun. This is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So that really just stuck out to me. Like, okay, if I can get into a bunch of bodybuilding, maybe we can inspire other people to do bodybuilding. And just get out of the comfort zone and do that.
Yeah. Plus, also clothes just look better on you. You know
a little
what I'm
bit,
saying?
just extra tight, just extra tight, just
Extra medium.
Yeah. Mediums. Yeah. So, what was college like? What was Sac State like? Because I used to live right by Sac State on
Oh, really?
Rivera. Yeah, on La Rivera for a while. So like I used to sell dope over there when I was a little kid, right? When you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I know there's a little bit of a party scene, but there's not a huge party scene. You know what I'm saying? But it was always real cool over there. You know what I'm saying? What was it like for you?
I'm not much of a partier, so I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
I know that Sac State has a good gym. They have the well over there, so I'm like, that's my favorite spot.
Okay, yeah.
I like that. So I like the Sac State. It's a good campus. It's big. It's a huge campus.
Yeah.
For me, when I went to class, it was like going to Mount Everest because the classes were far, far away. I gotta wheel over there to go do it.
Yeah.
So it's like a long trip. But overall,
That's bodybuilding by itself.
That's part of it. That's like extensive with it. But Sac State's a cool campus. I think that it really has something for everybody.
Yeah.
Whatever major you're getting to, whatever journey you're getting into life, it has something for everyone. You can learn from that and get.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to love going over there watching. We used to sit on a levee too when I was real little, like in the '80s and stuff, and just to watch the games over there. You know what I mean? Sometimes we watch the Hornets play.
I've never been to Sac State, but I've heard about it.
It's a good campus. It's a good. It's expensive, but it's a good campus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all colleges are expensive
All of them,
nowadays.
yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. But dude, you went to college. You got your degree, acting, bodybuilding. Fucking.
You got a degree in communications?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
And you do comedy. What else do you do?
Right now, I'm just looking for a job. Right now, I'm just looking for a job right now. But ultimately, just try to keep busy.
Yeah, that's what being an actor. That's what it always is, right? You're constantly looking for jobs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm looking for jobs, but I'm just trying to keep busy and try to keep the creative outlet going and try to move forward in life, move forward to the next journey, and see where the life takes me. See where that goes.
Yeah, that's right.
So
21, you young.
Everybody has like these bad days and shit. What keeps you motivated? Like, how do you get out of your rant? You know what I mean?
Working out, man. Just working out is the medicine for everything. For me, at least, it's the medicine. If I'm having a bad day, go for a walk, go clear my head, go lift some weights, go put on some Rocky or AC/DC or something like that.
Okay. ACD too young for ACDC.
my dad plays that. My dad plays that Five Finger Death Punch. Nirvana, Green Day.
Yeah.
Just get it going.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's dope, man. Because like like I said before, a lot of people they don't know how to get out of it. They once it's like a spiral downhill. And you start feeling one way, then you're like, man, I give up. Hey, I'm gonna start doing the drugs. I'm gonna start drinking. You know what I mean? Or probably drinking first. Start doing drugs just to clear your mind.
Right.
But you say you've never done. You don't do alcohol or none of that.
And I have friends of mine that do partake in those in drugs and alcohol and things like that, the party scene, which I understand that. No shame toward that. But I feel like at the end of the day, if you're feeling some type of way, that pain is temporary. Right.
Yeah.
That pain is temporary. Rather than have a long-term situation, be like, okay, I'm going to be in this rut forever. There's always another outlook to it and a perspective to it.
Yeah.
So just, work out, clear your head, go for a walk, even go play some video games, go do something proactive.
Yeah.
And, just remind yourself that you're doing great today and you're doing wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh damn. Yeah. And that's game right there. You know what I mean? Because if it work, if it works for you and you've been successful right at it, then it could work for anybody. Yeah. And I think Big Tone also says that too, man. Get out, do something, just work out.
Yeah, just do something.
Stop feeling sorry for yourself, and get out and do.
Yeah,
shit.
lately, I've been doing a lot of jogging, right? And when I was in prison, I used to do it all like a whole yard. But I stopped when I got out, and then lately I've just been on that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it clears your head so much, just a consistent fucking cardio. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for like an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then go back, just lift a little weights and do some push-ups and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah, dope. So yeah, what's next for you? Besides? I know you're looking for a job,
Right.
but what do you have planned? You got anything going with Zakius that you're doing, or you have any other moves that you're making?
So I have agents right now that are, I have agents in the Bay Area and one in LA, and we're trying to figure out, the next step for the next job and trying to figure out the
Yeah.
next projects and what looks good for me and what,
Yeah.
what we can get for.
All this stuff is just hurry up and wait, bro.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
I like to say patience is a virtue. It's it's one of
up.
those things where patience in the game is a long run. Whatever industry you're into, if you're in it for the right reasons and you're in it for the right mindset, and I want it because I like it. I'm passionate about it. Like for music, I'm in it because I like it.
Yeah.
I'm in acting because I like it. I like whatever it is. Fame will come later. The money will come later.
Right.
Just being mindful for the time that you have.
Yeah, sometimes it's really just having that passion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to just exercise those demons. You know what I mean? So
But yeah, I mean, you're like you got a pretty big following already.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, the fame is out. Like it's
Right.
pretty much there. Right. It's like you got what, like I said, 589,000
Something
followers.
like that, man. But
yeah.
like, even then, like I'm very fortunate for the followers and the fan base that I have, which I'm very grateful for. But like when people say that, I'm like, I don't feel different. I feel like I'm just me. I feel like I'm just Mikey. I feel like I'm just moving. I'm just a regular guy doing what I'm doing. But I'm very fortunate for the fan base and the following that I have, that I can inspire people to show them that anything is possible. If I can do it, you can do it. If any,
right.
Yeah, no, and that's cool. But a lot of people nowadays, like that's their life is to
Right.
get big numbers, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm following. Like once you get a certain amount of followers, you're an influencer.
Right.
Now you
Right.
influence people, and you are a big influence on people. And if numbers correlate to influence, then yeah, you're there,
Right.
right? Because 500,000 followers, that's not. That's not no little
Right.
That's nothing to laugh at. You know
Right.
what I mean? That's a big deal. And,
Have you thought about making influencing your job?
that's another avenue. That's another avenue. I haven't really thought that far. It's just a matter of I'm the type of guy that's like I don't want to stay stagnant. If I stay stagnant for too long, I go like stir crazy. And so I want to keep moving forward. So influencing could be another avenue.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
I mean, there's real money in it.
Yeah.
And the streaming, like Kai Sanat doing all that
Right.
kind of stuff. Like, man.
yeah,
real
especially
money
since you
in it.
got a following already. Like
Right.
you know
You're
what I mean?
hey,
You might
that's
as
half the
well,
battle right now.
Get some of them Ray-Ban glasses and shit, and
Right.
just go out and just do what you do, or like Florida Jesus does, and just hey, go work, man, wheelchair where the followers tell you and
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's something you can get into.
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's
shit.
something I'll look into because I never really thought that far. Just a matter, I'm always open to things, open to
Yeah.
opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way to make doing what you love work. Right. And like you already, if you're really looking for a job, you're really looking for a steady income,
Right.
bro, you've got the wherewithal and the means by which to facilitate that
Right.
right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So have you done stand-up comedy?
I do sit down comedy.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, have you've been on stage and
No, not really. I mean,
No?
not even that too. I just recently started doing poetry. I just recently started writing poetry, so I just really
Okay.
started getting into comedy per se with the
Okay.
lives and skits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
well, I was gonna invite you to Joe Bob's Comedy Trap House,
Yeah,
man,
man.
and maybe do a set if you would like to. If you would,
I'll check
feel
it out
like
and just let me know. And I'll
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah, because usually there's people who give either 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or whatever, just to come up there and just say some funny stuff and shit. I think you'd be a good comedian.
Yeah. And
Like,
they cracking
out,
too.
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
Comedy Trap House be going
Comedy
crazy.
Trap
It'd be
House
cracking
is-
for real.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of people come over here and man, it's always a good time at
Right.
Joe Bob's Comedy Trap House. So I would like it's
Yeah,
always a
bro.
good time.
Well, I appreciate that. Send me the details. I'll check it out.
Yeah, Manny the God, he was out there last time. He killed it.
Yeah.
He killed it. You know what I mean? And Manny the God, he's another big influencer, you know what I mean, on social media. And that's Zakius and
Yeah, him.
Right.
Florida
Zakius
Jesus
is
came
something,
here. Yeah, and they did a skit. So, and he's from Baltimore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was big having him out here. And so do you travel a lot?
Depending on what it is, I've been to LA a lot. I've been to the Bay Area a lot, but I'm trying to get out the country right now. I'm trying to get my passport and get that all situated.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I've been to Oregon. I've been to Washington, Atlanta, Seattle. Things like that.
Okay.
I think we went to Texas one time with my dad. We went like a road trip to Texas.
Yeah.
At one point, so I've been to certain places.
Yeah.
What would be like that you said would be the hardest to overcome in your acting career, and what did you do or what do you need to do to get over it?
Like elaborate on that more a little bit.
Like it's hard for people to break into the
Right.
business, right? But you actually broke in, but you want to get further and shit.
Right.
What has been your hardest obstacle to overcome, or what is the hardest obstacle in your way to breaking up to the next level?
I think for a while it was just getting an agent, getting a manager, and getting seen because I had a publicist at the time, and again I was sending emails to agents, managers, and different people to represent me, but that kind of took a longer time, a longer process because Freaky Tales came out. We shot that in 2022.
Yeah.
That didn't come out until this year.
Right.
So from that duration time, that was a long period of just waiting for it to come out. So again, like this industry, I would say it's very what's the word? It's very closed. It's very closed off, and you got to know who you know to get into it. But once you have the opportunity to break into certain ways and break into the industry, it's a way that you're very lucky to have.
Yeah.
But it's also a very overnight thing where it's like this can be gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you got to look out for that. But I would say for me, it's just the fact of moving forward and progressing in my career.
Do you speak Spanish?
No.
Man, you
I
got
was
one Spanish.
when I was younger, my mama taught me a little bit like ASL, like deaf sign language, like more and things like that. Because the doctors always said that I could be deaf, blind, mute, or I couldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
So I proved them wrong, and here I am. I'm doing things that they said I couldn't do. So there are things in this industry that like speaking Spanish, having another language is good because you can do on telenovelas or things like that. But I'm very fortunate for my agents and my team that I have now with me that see the potential that I have and growing with them.
Yeah.
But this industry is so up and down; it's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But just enjoy the ride.
Oh yeah, no,
Hell yeah.
you're doing it. So when that movie Freaky Tales first came out, like what was that feeling like to see yourself on a big screen?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I went to the movie like 20 times.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like
I went too.
that whole month, I just bought tickets like for the opening night.
Yeah.
The next day I went. So I went there 20 times with all my friends, everybody. It was cool because I saw my portion of what the movie was, but I didn't get to see the whole thing and the result of it. Like, oh, this is what they were doing. This is how it went down. So again, we shot everything out of order. So seeing how the whole story, I was like, this is cool. I love it. I love it. So that was a dream come true for me.
That's dope as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, because we had a friend of ours, Doc Nine, who came on the podcast, and he's done films, and he's done a role for Netflix, and he got another film that's being shopped right now. He was on a couple things. But what he was saying is like going to the Sundance Film Festival, and I seen you were out there. He was like, man, it's dope out there.
The parties out there were crazy.
Yeah, he said it was crazy. What was your experience like at Sundance?
Sundance was fun, but again, that was a whole nother wild experience for me because again, going from plays to this big venture of like, oh my gosh, this is a big film festival. You got people from HBO, Netflix, and everybody in that theater. There was like 1,500 people that showed up for the premiere of Freaky Tales that night.
Oh wow!
Wow!
And again, this was back in 2024, and it was snowy. It was cool. It was like a whole other vibe. The party scene, I don't like parties. I don't like that. But I'm just sitting there in the corner talking to Simba, talking to Stunner Man.
Simba, yeah.
That I didn't get to work with on the movie directly, but seeing them, in this movie, like this is cool. So just overall having that camaraderie, I was like, we did that.
Yeah.
We made this happen. This is really cool. So I really enjoyed Sundance.
Oh yeah,
Really enjoyed that.
yeah, because he was saying that there's wild parties, and he was telling us some stories about how he snuck into a mansion and
how old boy from La Bamba was.
yeah, Bob from La Bamba was there.
Well, Too Short was there too. He was there with us too.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I got to see Too Short and the director. They got to do like a battle rap after like one of the underground little things.
Yeah.
So Too Short was there. It was really cool.
How long did you stay over there?
Like 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah.
He did the whole thing.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Like, so that's one thing I always wanted to do. Was go to
we're
Sundance.
gonna do it.
Yeah, I just want to go out there and just to chill and just to party.
Yeah, Sundance is
I like
vibe.
to party.
It's a vibe for sure. I think the you get to see new movies that come out prior to being released on Netflix and just seeing the indie filmmaking scene of how this is. I'm like, this is really cool. You get this is your people. This is your network of people that you want to be surrounded with.
Yeah.
So it's a cool vibe.
Yeah, that's dope.
So what is the best part of the industry for you? Like, is it the auditioning? Is it the acting, or is it the final product for you? What was the best part of it?
I would say the acting. Because getting on set, working on that, that's the most beautiful thing you can have. The auditions, I would say, are great too, because you get the prospect of like this job. It's really
Right.
cool. But also, you get in your head a lot like, okay, I really want this job. I really want it. I don't hear anything. Did I not get it? You know, you get that mindset of
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
maybe I didn't. Maybe I wasn't good for it.
How long does it take to hear back after audition?
It really depends. Like, you know, they may have like for a TV show. You know, a TV show may shoot on Monday, and you may have an audition that's due on Friday. So you may hear over the week, you may not.
Yeah.
So it really just depends. For movies, for me, it took me about 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get a call back. But again, they were looking for someone with my specific type with a disability for that character. So it really just depends on the parameters and what the casting director is looking for.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's that's dope, man. It's just like it's really intriguing, like to get into to see what the inside to the music business or the music, but for the acting business, right? Because we don't usually see that. We're more behind the scenes in the music, you know, and kind of in the front of the scenes of the music. But as far as the acting goes, like man, it's really intriguing. I think a lot of people they grow up thinking they could be actors. And like that's like, man, I want to go to Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I want to be an actor. You know what I mean?
Well, anyone that has a dream to go to Hollywood and do that, I would say do it. You know, it doesn't matter what age you're at. But again, this industry is so up and down, and there's people that I work with that are older in age. They're in their 30s. They're older than me, and they've been doing this a long time. And I've learned from them saying that this is a fun industry, but you got to realize the stability aspect on the ups and downs and the hardship of the industry on these gigs, because these are just really gigs. They're not consistent.
Yeah.
As long as you're in it for the right reasons. And I'm very fortunate, I'm just learning from them and learning the experience and overall. And these movies and these projects are like a well-oiled machine. It's a big machine. So just seeing how that process goes, it's like eye-opening for me to have.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. So, what advice would you give to anybody that's trying to get into the industry?
I'd say go for it. Just go for it, have fun, enjoy the time that you have, because again, I was 21 and I always had a dream to do this as a living, as a career, and I'm still planning to do it. And here I am. Life is what's the word, like Forrest Gump? Life is a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. So at the end of the day, just go for it.
Yeah.
What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, man.
That's dope. So, what was your biggest life lesson so far? Like, if you can like let anybody know what like what's your biggest life lesson that you learned from your whole journey?
Life it's a big, tough world out there, right? And there's a lot of things that we can and cannot control. Well, we can only control what's in front of us, and we got to move forward with that.
Yeah.
And I think people get in their head like things are going bad, things are not going my way.
Right.
Take control of what you have, and go with it. There's things that we can and cannot control, and that's out of our limit, and that's okay. But, whatever you believe in, whether that's God or another religion, there's always a higher power, and we don't know our direction for our life or our plans, but at the end of the day, we're here for a reason. We're here for one reason, and that one reason may be music, or that one reason is, whatever your purpose is in life.
Yeah.
Right.
So just go in the center of your purpose and remind yourself that we're all here doing great.
Yeah.
Dope. Do you believe in manifestation?
I believe in manifestation, just, God and whatever higher power there is.
Yeah.
No, dope. Yeah. No, I believe in manifestation, right? If you see it, you can achieve it.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's so many things that, I've done or I've seen. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this. And then like it may not happen like a week or a
Right.
month, but like maybe 2 or 3 years, like, yeah.
No, as long
We're there.
like
We're
you,
doing
like you
that.
speak it. My mom said recently, you speak it out to the universe, and things will happen. It may
Yeah.
not come out tomorrow, like you said,
Right.
but things will come in the order they're supposed to.
Right.
We meet friends of ours that we may never thought we would have met. Like I would,
Right.
meeting you was cool. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, I've seen you today. So it's like you meet people in your life,
Yeah.
like they're with you, and like you meet some people in certain instances and certain parts of your journey. Like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah. For real. I'm a big proponent of manifestation. Just say it, even if it's to yourself. Say if you got an actual goal,
Right.
say that motherfucker every day. You know what I'm saying? And there's action. You got to put action behind it, but it's really just staying focused. That's really what it's about, staying focused. You know what I'm saying? You 21, brother.
I'm
You
24, but
you-
thank you. I
24.
appreciate that.
You
I
hella
appreciate
young is
that.
the point. You hella young is the point.
You're in your 20s, damn it.
And you're 24 and like you reached an aspiration of millions of motherfuckers.
I appreciate
You
that.
know I'm right? That's
Yeah.
like everybody wants to be in a feature film. Everybody want to do something
Hell
crazy.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to act next to Too Short. I want to get pushed over by some skinheads. Damn it.
Well, for real, if you're an actor, that's what you want. You want to be able to look up on that big ass screen and be able to see yourself on it. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that. And, you know, like people, when they tell me how do I get in the business, I'm like, I can't really tell you how I can't really give you a blueprint, you know? Yeah. I can just tell you how my experience went. You know, everyone's experience is different. They're an extra, they're in the background, they're doing PA stuff, they're doing like production assistant stuff. So there's always different avenues, but I'm very blessed with the opportunities I've had, just meet people in general.
Right. And you know, I was talking about you writing, and I think you got a different story, right? You got a different, and it's compelling, right? So I think, and we don't get to see it a lot,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So I think like your story is important, you know. And I don't know if you're a writer, if you're into it or what, but you do poetry and you like to do comedy and you wrote some screenplays, right? Fuck it. Man, you need to tell your story, and it's just so many aspects of your story. If you're gonna do rom-com, man, everybody wants to see the rom-com. Right. You know what I'm saying? From your perspective is very important. You know what I'm saying? I really think that. And not just, you know, I'm a big proponent of my raza, you know what I'm saying? My people, you know what I'm saying? So like I know how actors, I know you have to be like, you're just everybody. You're just right. But like, bro, you're raza, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's important. Like it's not just you having cerebral palsy, which there's you gotta be the voice. You know what I'm saying? That's your raza. You're people only think of, like I seen you ever seen man, it's gonna make me crazy, but I'll send it to you later. Okay. But it's like a Bible thumper or something. It's a hella famous people in it. Macaulay Culkin was in it. He was in a wheelchair.
I'm thinking not Home Alone. That's what I know him from.
It's not him. He was like in his 20s or something. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna send it to you later. Okay. But how they did that with him, where he was like a kind of a douchebag. You know what I'm saying? Right? How you see handicapped people at the outset is not like, they have their nuances and all that stuff too, and it's important that people don't just see him as the person in the wheelchair, right? It's that man, this dude might be a douchebag, he might save your motherfucking life, you know what I'm saying? You don't know, you know what I'm saying? So I think that story, that broader aspect is crucial. You know what I'm saying? For motherfuckers to be able to understand, you know what I mean?
Right, because a lot of people, like, you know, just having disabilities have a lot of their bad attitudes, right? But you're so positive, like it's like breaking that little stereotype, right? You're so upbeat and so positive.
Yeah, but I think people in general got bad attitudes. Well, I think the overwhelming majority of the population are dickheads. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's relegated to just to handicap anybody, you know what I'm saying? But it as long as just generally you keep a fucking cool head about shit, you know what I'm saying? But
look, I don't even like for me personally, like I don't even like I feel uncomfortable saying handicap or disabled or any of that.
I'm cool with that.
No, you know. I get it, but me personally, right? Like I told you a little bit of the story, but I don't like saying that because everybody's one. We're all people, right? Yeah. We all have different abilities, bro. Yeah. Like, dude, you know, you could probably do a backflip. I can't do a goddamn backflip. You know
what I mean?
I
could do a backflip?
You probably could, man. You're lower to the ground, so you know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
But you know what I'm saying? Like we all have things. We all have strengths. We all have weaknesses, right?
Yeah.
And I don't like putting the
label on.
Yeah, because you know it's whatever, right? But do you find it like people like are kind of standoffish with you, don't know how to talk to you, don't know how to treat you when they see your disability, or has it been generally just normal?
Well, the funny thing is in dating that's when I usually get a lot of people standoffish. You know, when I go on dates or things like that.
Really?
Yeah, they get on dating apps. I was on Bumble for a bit. You know, all these dating apps for a bit. Like, they just get really standoffish at that because they feel like they're gonna baby you a little bit. You know, they feel like you can't do anything. So
you ever seen that movie with what's his name?
Bro, that's your rom-com right there. That's your rom-com right there, bro.
There was that movie with not Chris. Was it Chris Rock?
It's with Bryan Cranston, right? With Chris,
where he was in a wheelchair and he takes care of him.
Upside down.
There we go. So in that movie, which was one of my favorite movies, right? Because it's dope. And in that movie, like the whole dating part, right? Where she gets weird. She knows he's in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
She's seen that he's like he's paralyzed from the neck down.
Yeah.
But one thing triggers hers when he, the food drips to
Right.
his shirt, and she's like, "Oh, you dropped it there," and and she gets
Right.
weirded out, right? Is that normal for people to do that? Because I'm like,
Well, I never experienced that directly. But I just know, I've been
You
on
can eat food, bro.
but no, I'm just saying for like,
Yeah.
like how you were saying, people were weirded out by you, like.
I would say like on like Bumble, Tinder,
Yeah.
all these different dating apps that I
Yep.
was on for a bit. I would have pictures of me with the disability or without the disability. Figure out okay how many matches I would get from that, and just seeing from that. But usually up front, if I roll up to the date, like, oh wait a minute, you said you drove a four-wheeler. I'm like, yeah, you got four wheels right here.
Bitch, this is a 4-wheeler, bitch.
It's like, you got to look at it that way. I like to think positive that way. But
Yeah.
certain people have different preferences
Yeah.
on what they want to do in that way. But
Yeah.
I think that in the relationship world and dating, it's a weird time. It's a fun time. It's a fun time for sure. in
Yeah,
that
but
aspect.
I'm telling you something, if you find a girl that fucks with that, the 4-wheeler, she's probably a dope ass chick. You know?
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
definitely. So, like, doing that whole dating thing and shit. Like, you haven't found nobody.
I found one person. She's very cool, man.
Yeah.
She's very smart. She's studying economics and stuff, and she's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
She
gonna have
found
money.
me like
She gonna have money for sure.
she found me through Instagram.
Yeah.
And she DM'd me. I was looking through my request
she popped
box.
at you?
Yeah.
Okay,
I was
yeah.
looking through my request box. I'm like, okay, because usually on my request, I don't get anything in my request box.
Oh, okay.
So I don't see it. So I was looking through my request one night. I was like, oh, okay, you're on campus. Same school I went to at the
Oh,
time.
that's dope.
So
yeah.
she's cool. She's she's really smart. She's really smart, but she's understanding of the whole disability aspect.
Yeah.
Which is great. Because usually it's the opposite. Usually I was on Bumble and on these other dating apps, which
Right.
I wouldn't say they're bad. For me, I'm like, that's
Yeah.
too much swiping. That's too much, back and forth.
Yeah.
But having someone that you're really grounded with and someone that really, whether or not, friendship wise or what, going forward, it's like one of those things where that person really rocks with you and really fucks
Yeah.
with you because, they support you in whatever avenue you're going to.
Right. Yeah, no, and that goes beyond any kind of wheelchair or anything,
Right.
bro. Right? That's like jail. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, that's dope, bro, and that's awesome that you found a girl.
Were
know
you
what I'm
on
saying?
dating apps? Were you in that jail dating app?
Oh yeah. So I ain't gonna say her name, but the woman I paroled to, that's how I met her.
Really? On the
Yeah, so 2013 we started getting phones in the cell. You know what I'm saying? We started like hustling up phones and shit.
Right.
Yeah, I was on hella dating apps when I was in prison. Yeah,
Oh yeah, they got.
I was bumping them too. I ain't gonna lie. I had the long hair. I was all jacked. You know what I mean? Yeah. That story though, that story of you on the dating apps, bro.
Yeah, that those would be dope skits. Like just
Right.
like a dating app, like you know what I mean? Just
Right.
just like you and Zakius, man, you need to come
Bro.
up with some shit on you know what I mean? Just dating apps, some dating app with disability, like hey, and just like how the thing with fat chicks, like
Yeah.
taking pictures like that, like they
Yeah.
look good, then they come out like,
Yeah.
hold on, that ain't you. Like what the fuck happened? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that would be dope to have something like that. Like
Yeah. You think you're on the T app?
I don't know.
This one said he had a 4-wheeler pulled up in a wheelchair and put your ass on the T app.
don't date this guy. This 4-wheeler is not a Chevy. But
Yeah.
no, dang, that's a crazy
Bro, that'd be
experience.
dope.
So,
Yeah.
I'd watch it. I'd laugh
watch
at
that
that.
shit
That thing
too,
would be
yeah.
funny as fuck. Like that's got to be the number one, the first skit too. It's like,
Yeah.
oh look, this guy right here, he's cool. Oh, he went to college. Oh, he
Yeah.
has a 4-wheeler. Oh, I'm there. You roll up. Where's your
Wait, hold on.
4-wheeler? That's 4 wheels, bitch. Look.
Yeah, that's dope, brother. But yeah, at least something came out of that. It wasn't even that stuff. Them dating apps are fucking bullshit anyways.
you
you know
know,
what
like,
I'm saying?
I have friends
It's really just sex, you know
I
what
mean,
I
I
mean?
got like friends of mine that they do hookups in situations.
Yeah.
I had a buddy of mine that also has a disability. That has he met his girl off of
Yeah.
a dating app, and that was cool.
Yeah.
But
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you something. The dating app, the girls on the dating apps, they're for the most part, it's really just sex. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And even if I see a girl and she got too much going on Instagram,
Right.
and I only been out a couple years, right? So I'm like learning. Like now I'm with somebody, right?
Right.
But like, but like the girls on social media, bro, they got too much going on TikTok. They got too much going on Instagram. Bro, I'm just not even dealing with it.
You're not gonna entertain that.
Yeah, nah, they for everybody.
Yeah, they for the street. No, they for the internet.
They
They for the net.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's dope, man. Dude, like I said, real inspiring, man. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap this up? Because I know it's about an hour in.
No, man, I just appreciate you. I appreciate your time, and it was great being on the podcast with you.
Yeah, my mama, we appreciate you too,
man.
bro.
Yeah, we appreciate you sitting down with us, man. And man, whenever you get another feature film or something you want to talk about something, man, let us know. We'll have you back on here, man.
Yeah,
because it's like I said, it's real inspiring. Anything you need from us, and I say this every time. Now that you part of the family now, so you family now. So you rocking with us from here on out, man. No paperwork, man. Appreciate you, man.
You already know. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man.
That little grip too.
Hell yeah! So nobody steal our idea for the dating app fucking skit, dude. Unless you got to work.
You got to write it now. If you gonna write it, you better write that.
Yeah,
shit
you got to
right
do that shit.
You got about a week.
You got
about a week before this come out.
Put my calendar.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, No Paperwork Podcast, man. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe, man. BFD, thing you want to say?
Man, it's love, man. No paperwork, you already know.
Mikey, man, appreciate you, bro. Peace out.
When times get hard, haters wanna pull your card. Gotta keep it gangster, bro. You gotta keep it gangster, bro. When you're riding around, sliding through your town, gotta keep it gangster, bro. Gotta keep it gangster, bro.
Ill gang. My respect is always earned, cause in them streets I'm far from average. Remember in my circle, known to let them suckers have it. Causing damage, never wrecking, well maintaining my composure. Graduated from a soldier, now the one that's giving orders. Got the team straight full of beast, out here thugging in these streets. Staying solid, always acting, never accepting defeat. Never catch me on my knees, I'd rather die up on my feet. Never let the opposition never get the best of me. Got a heart that's just like granite, kinda dark and hard to break. I'm just the product of my struggle, and it's just how I was made. If you a gangster, be a gangster, homie, thug it to the fullest. But understand it comes with rules and consequences for the foolish. Never snitch, never switch, never leave a homie stranded. Never talk down on your people and maintain a higher standard. Show respect to those who earn it, disregard those hating punks, and always keep a gangster, put that 14th letter up.
When times get hard, haters wanna pull your card. Gotta keep it gangster, bro. You gotta keep it gangster, bro. When you're riding around, sliding through your town, gotta keep it gangster, bro. Gotta keep it gangster, bro.
Yeah, logo. I put some slugs up in the sucker's belly to put some food up in my son's. Boy, I come from the slums where we stay chasing hugs. Every day it's get money, catch the buzz. Losing homies left and right, you wonder why we staying numb and lick it up. And yeah, I'm always twisting up a blunt. Look 'em in the eye, staring down the barrel of my gun, don't need the front. Live my life on the run, making moves under this northern Cali sunshine. Throw up the gang, slay dangs and pack nines. Ain't no holding back time, my son got me looking at you cowards like it's snack time. So tell me who's the animal when I'm only trying to eat. Feed my seed, pay my rent, and put some shoes up on my feet. It ain't my fault, we play for keeps. When times get rough, fuck stress and keep it G. Love those loyal to me and fuck who turn their back on me. And since only God can judge me, yeah, my middle finger's up. Before you speak on mental ill, just know that we don't give a fuck.
When times get hard,